So the Telegram founder who refused to work with the French government, he refused to give them information that they legally and morally had a right to, gets arrested in France. I'm supposed to believe that this guy who refused to cooperate with the Russian government and has apparently traveled to Russia something like 50 times since refusing, allegedly, to work with the Russian government. He did not give the GRU, Russian intelligence, access to the back end of Telegram, right? Or maybe encryption codes or whatever the fuck that shit's called. Right? The guy the guy that refused to cooperate with the French government and got arrested in France, right? He just got off scot-free saying no to Putin. He never fell out of a window, right? He didn't poison himself tripping down a flight of stairs. He didn't die giving birth. None of that, right? I mean, fucking hell, man. People are so disappointing. I told you guys a long time ago that it's well known in conspiracy circles that this dude works with the Russian government. That's why he's still alive. Simple. That's why he could travel freely in and out of Russia and other, Russia-friendly states, and nothing ever happened to him. It's because he gave him a key to the back door. That's it. And ultimately, what France did, I think it's politically motivated. And I think they want to have the encryption codes just the same way Russia has them, because they use them to do intelligence on whoever the fuck they want to do, to spy on, most notably these days, Ukraine. And, the Ukrainian army, because they're on there, various military groups, and, they're plotting and planning. I'm sure their OPSEC, Operation Security, they're not stupid enough to give the game plan away on Telegram, right? Telegram. But I mean, Russian intelligence services are no doubt scouring everybody's shit, but definitely Ukrainian military pages to look for clues of what might be happening, right? And um, they're able to de-encrypt. Is that how you say it? Uh, any of their private communications, they have access to all that shit, right? Because Pavel over here gave it to him, right? Because he didn't want to die giving birth or anything of that nature. So it is what it is. Now, France want, I have no doubt, France and Russia have been, butting heads and fighting in Africa, proxy wars, things of that nature. And, I'm sure this goes all the way back to Napoleonic Wars, or maybe even before that. They're competing on the world stage, and they want access to the back door of Telegram too, because they want to do their own intelligence. Except they're bound by a rule-based order, and they have to be a lot slicker in their gangsterism. Whereas Putin can, not literally, but figuratively, just put a gun to this fucking guy's head and get anything he wants, right? France has to do it the proper way, right? So for all the dummies out there who are just getting brainwashed and manipulated by mainstream media, because guess what? The more angry you get, the more you comment, the more you click, and the more dumb shit you say online, the more money that you make them, the more popular you make them, right? So they're definitely manipulating you and playing games with you, making this a free speech issue when it isn't. This has nothing to do with free speech. Right? People are free to say anything that's legal to say. They're free to do anything on Telegram insofar as it's legal, right? This reminds me of when Russia shut down YouTube in Russia, right? And you didn't hear a peep of negative criticism from all the Putin stooges, right? But as soon as the West demonetized the Russians, free speech became an issue with these fucking. I can't stand how people be these days, man. How the fuck do you just keep, those of you that do you just keep exposing yourself as such a fucking hypocrite time and motherfucking time again? And you're perfectly fine just pulling your fucking pants down and showing your ass to everybody. Those of you that do this dumb shit. Anyway, all of a sudden, Putin stooges, right? People who are pro a country that will throw you in prison for 5 years for having a fucking blank sign at a blank fucking protest, right? They'll send fucking goons to your house and beat the fuck out of you and your girlfriend because you disseminated some, unsavory pieces of paper with the word freedom on there. You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out of here. These people, they don't have a problem with free speech. They're just using free speech as the dog whistle, I guess, to beat whoever they don't like over the head with whenever fucking convenient. Shut the fuck up. You ain't slick. And just for the fucking record, as if you couldn't just listen to the entire 30 or 40-second blurb from CNN or BBC or whomever, listen to everything that they're saying and actually exercise your brain and use your fucking brain to try to comprehend what's actually going on, right? This isn't the case of a gun maker getting sued because somebody took their gun to shoot somebody. The gun maker is getting sued because he's harboring a murderer. Okay, the reason why he's in trouble is because he refused to provide information on who it was that conducted all these various people who did a whole bunch of illegal shit and immoral shit on Telegram. Now, again, don't get me wrong. I think this is just a way to get to the back end, but they have to go the legal route. They can't just quote unquote put a gun to his head and threaten him and get what they want. They have to, because the West is, like it or not, has these rules they have to follow. The West, countries in the West are democracies, right? Whether you like or dislike that term, whether you feel included in a democracy or not, none of that changes the fact that they are democracies that follow certain fucking rules, that they have checks and balances. Yeah, there's everybody's equal and some people are more equal. I get it, but it's still a democracy and they still have certain fucking rules they have to follow, more so than in Putin's Russia, where it's just straight up unadulterated, blatant fucking gangsterism, all right? Lesser of two evils. Tell the truth. Which doesn't make it good, don't get me wrong. So, no, this guy he didn't just provide a platform for people to say whatever the fuck they want to say. And even if they did, if people are disseminating child porn on using Telegram and you could prove that he knew about it and did nothing about it, fuck yeah, he's complicit. And all of you traditional, so-called traditional anti-degeneracy fucks, where the fuck are you at? Right? All of a sudden, none of that matters. Get the fuck out of here. I'm sick and tired of all the hypocrisy and all the bullshit. None of you, obviously this doesn't apply to everybody, none of you believe any of the shit that you say that you do. And the louder these motherfuckers cry about morals and what's right and what's wrong, the less they actually believe that shit. So you could all eat a dick for all I care. All right? But anyway, Yeah, if this fucking guy knows that there are people on this platform disseminating child porn, plotting murders or whatever, and you could prove that he knows about it and he's just whatever about it, fuck yeah, he's guilty. And if the French government contacts them, well, what a the country that wanted to legalize, what was it, like marriage, sexual relations between adult and what was it, 14-year-old or something like that. They give a fuck about child pornography. I get it. I get it. It's bullshit. But I mean, right? If we're anti-degeneracy and we're pro traditionalism, whatever the fuck that means, and we're pro decency, then yeah, bring this fucking guy down. If you could prove that he's complicit in this bullshit, bring him the fuck down. Just because someone like Zuckerberg, and I'm not saying he's doing this shit, but just because someone like Zuckerberg gets to get away with it, right? As fucked up as that is, that doesn't mean this fucking Russian gets to get away with it, right? Lesser of two evils. Hello? You should be applauding this. Or at the very least, all of you trad fucks, all of you anti-degeneracy cunts, bunch of fucking liars. If this shit is true, you should be asking to get to the bottom of this. And if this guy is complicit in just spreading child porn, cut his fucking head off. Right? Don't just arrest him, decapitate the fucking guy. But it's allegedly more than that, right? He's refusing to provide information on these people disseminating this bullshit. On people, plotting terrorist attacks, whatever have you. He's been asked to provide information on these certain people suspected of all these different crimes, all this immoral shit that they're doing allegedly, and he's refused to cooperate with law enforcement. So no, he's not just making the gun, he's making the fucking gun. He knows some motherfucker is using it to kill someone, and he's hiding him in his fucking house. Retards, man. Fucking retards. This is not a free speech issue. All right? It's geopolitics. Thanks for watching.